Texas Senator Jose Menendez. TxDOT Executive Director Mark Williams. We have our TxDOT leadership team here, Brian Barth, Brandy Hendrickson, as well as Marianne Grist, our chief of staff. And he may be on his way. Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai should be joining us just shortly. I also want to thank and welcome representatives from the Office of the U.S. Senator John Cornyn, representatives from the Office of Texas Senator Donna Campbell, the Alamo Area MPO, our San Antonio Mobility Coalition here, Via Metropolitan Transit, Williams Brothers Construction, who's our contractor, and STB Consultants, who's also working on the project with us, as well as the Office of the Governor of Greg Abbott. And of course, the dedicated TxDOT team and community members who have supported this transformative project. Let's give them all a big round of applause for their contributions. So today we're here to celebrate the progress of the Loop 1604 North expansion with the opening of the first flyover ramp at the 1604 and I-10 interchange. This flyover ramp is a vital part of the $463 million investment TxDOT is delivering in Segment 2 of the expansion project. The innovative interchange we are building behind us will enhance connectivity at one of the most congested interchanges in the state and lay the foundation for future improvements that will reduce congestion, increase safety, and improve travel times by up to 76%. It feels like just yesterday we were here breaking ground on this transformative 1604 North expansion project. And in that time, we've made incredible progress. Progress that will benefit the 150,000 drivers who use Loop 1604 every day. And I also like to share that, we've got a lot of feedback from the public during our closures, so it's really good to deliver this ramp. So we're proud to share that Segment 2 of the Loop 1604 North expansion project is nearly 60% complete and remains on track to be fully completed by 2027. And while we are opening the first flyover today, there's more to look forward to. The second flyover ramp is scheduled to open next spring, with an additional ramp opening to traffic later in 2025. So with today's ribbon cutting, we're not just opening a new flyover, we're opening the door to smoother commutes, safer journeys, and a stronger transportation network for San Antonio. Now I'd like to invite TxDOT's Executive Director Mark Williams to the podium. He's the honor of introducing Chairman Bug. Mark?
Charles, thank you very much. I also have the honor of thanking you and your team for the great work to get us to this point. We certainly recognize there's a lot of work ahead, but this is an important time to celebrate. So thank you all for your dedication and your commitment to helping progress this project and helping to do that in a manner that keeps the motorists and the users safe as we do so. It's my opportunity here now and privilege to introduce the next speaker this morning, and that is going to be Chairman Bruce Bugg. Chairman Bugg was appointed to the Texas Transportation Commission by Governor Greg Abbott in February of 2015. He was confirmed by the Senate in March of 2015 and then named chairman by Governor Abbott in September of 2017, and he's continued to serve in that role ever since then. His mission and direction to us has been to execute. And he has been singularly focused on keeping our focus on these types of moments when we're opening projects for the public. He's helped us to do that by his leadership, working with the governor, working with the legislature to help address the funding needs to build these types of projects. When Chairman Bugg first joined the Transportation Commission in 2015, our 10-year program stood at $34.5 billion. Since then, that program has grown to $104 billion, and those funds are being invested on these types of projects that we have to celebrate and recognize the accomplishment of completing them and delivering them to the public. So Chairman Bugg, thank you so much for your leadership. Please help me welcome Texas Transportation Chairman Bruce Bugg.
Thank you, Mark, very much for that very kind introduction. And this really is a great day in San Antonio, and in fact, it's a great day for the people of the state of Texas, because TxDOT is showing its leadership, its guidance, and with Texas continuing to grow and be the 8th largest economy in the entire world. Let me repeat that. The state of Texas alone is the 8th largest economy in the entire world. We are keeping the infrastructure and building the infrastructure so that as Texas continues to grow, and it is showing every indication that it's going to continue to grow, we are building the infrastructure that is going to be needed to be able to support that economic miracle which is known as the state of Texas. Now, first I want to thank Mark Williams because he is our executive director. And Mark and I have been working hand in glove on taking, basically, we look at what the populations across the entire state of Texas are, and we do what we call the heat map. By the way, we're going to be updating that. As we all know, we have 254 counties in the state of Texas. One of the things that I'm interested in is I want to break down where the population growth is in each one of those 254 states so that we can make sure, as Mark mentioned, my only ask of our senior staff at TxDOT is to execute. But you have to have a map to know where you need to execute. And so we're gonna now start focusing on each one of the 254 counties in the state of Texas, because it's not only important to build these infrastructure projects in a great city like the city of San Antonio, but this is a Texas Clear Lanes project, and the Texas Clear Lanes program was started at the behest and at the request of Governor Greg Abbott. And that request came just literally months after he appointed me to the Transportation Commission. And it's been my honor to have been asked to come up with a plan for what is now known as Texas Clear Lanes. But it was designed for the most congested choke points throughout the state of Texas. And as you might guess, those most congested choke points are all centered in the 5 major metropolitan areas of Texas. So you can start to the north, where our friends in Fort Worth and Dallas live. You can go to the east and you see our friends in Houston. And then you can come right back into central Texas and you see Austin to the north. And here we are in San Antonio, Texas today. And so the Texas Clear Lanes program is designed at the Governor Greg Abbott's request to basically go in and focus on where the most congested choke points are, and then come in and provide a solution. What we are going to celebrate today is nothing short of what we're doing around the entire state of Texas. And the Texas Clear Lanes program today is now an $80 billion program. We are executing all over the state of Texas, and I'm proud of that. But it takes leadership to do these projects. And so first I want to welcome Lauren Frequis to be here today. She represents Governor Greg Abbott. You might remember when we did the groundbreaking, Governor Abbott was here, and I was just telling a few friends the only thing we're missing today is Governor Abbott in the audience, because he was here when we did the groundbreaking. So Lauren, I hope you'll pass that along, that the major milestone that we're going to celebrate today, we wish that he could be here, and I'll have a chance to talk to him, I'm sure, myself, and give him an update as well. But Lauren, thank you for making the time to be here today. We have Senator Jose Menendez. Senator, you and I have been working since you were literally elected. And I'm so glad that you continue to work together with TxDOT. You've been a solid advocate for TxDOT and everything we're doing. So thank you for your leadership in all things transportation and being a friend of Governor Abbott's as we work through things statewide. And of course, Mark Williams, as I mentioned, is our executive director. We have a very good, close working relationship, and we are basically taking these incredible funds that are available largely because of the Texas voters. And something that's really changed Texas from every other state in the United States, and I can't say this enough, but the voters in 2014, when Governor Abbott was on the ballot the first time to run for governor, the Texas voters came to the polls and they voted by 80% to constitutionally dedicate funds for funding transportation needs throughout the state of Texas. But the Texans were not going to stop there. In 2014, and under Governor Abbott's leadership, he sponsored the legislation that led to the ability to vote for more transportation funding, and the voters came back 1 year later in November of 2015 and voted 83%, even 3% more than they voted the year before, to give TxDOT the transportation funding that is so necessary to keep up with the growth of this great state of Texas. So those two elements of additional funding, compare and contrast that with all the other 49 states, and honestly, I couldn't have a better job as chairman of Texas Department of Transportation, because none of the other 49 states have what we have in Texas, and we know that Texas is a unique state and the best state. And one of the things is all the Texans have come together and they've advocated for and they've voted for and they've supported this funding. We are the only state in the United States that has a singular separate source of funding that allows us to do what we are going to celebrate doing today. That adds up to another 44% of our total construction budget. And Mark very correctly pointed out that our UTP, or Unified Transportation Program, is at an all-time record of, it was $35 billion when Governor Abbott took office, but now it has grown just on the UTP to 104. But if you add in the additional funding that TxDOT has allocated for transportation, when you add it all together, we are at a record $148.5 billion of funding now for development and engineering of plans, the building of the program that we have for our highways, our bridges, and our roads throughout the state of Texas. And then, of course, we have to maintain what we build so that it keeps at the A level that we want for all of our transportation. But what we're going to celebrate today is because Charles Benavides, which is right behind me, Charles is the can-do district engineer for the San Antonio districts. And so for those of you that may not know it, but TxDOT has 25 districts throughout this great state of Texas, and Charles is the new district engineer. I say new. He was new when we broke ground on this. He's not new anymore because he's completed the first flyover that we're going to celebrate today. So it takes great people at TxDOT, and that's why I want to thank not only Charles for your leadership as the district engineer, so that we can basically see the work that you and your senior staff here in the San Antonio district have worked so hard to do, but also I want to thank all the other, we have over 13,000 TxDOT employees throughout the entire state of Texas. And ladies and gentlemen, they get up every morning and they hit it hard for each one of us, because they're out there, they're the ones, they're either building, they're maintaining, or when we have an emergency situation like we had in Houston earlier this year, they were over there in Houston. We're going to have a little bit of snow, I'm told, perhaps sometime this coming year. They'll be on that. They'll be on the streets. They'll be on the roads. They'll be de-icing things so that it's safe for you to get out of bed in the morning and go to work or take your kids to school. That's what TxDOT does. It really focuses on serving the people that we are made to focus on, and that is the people of the great state of Texas. And so I'm very excited to be the chairman. As you can tell, I'm very proud. I've got a great team. I'm looking at them right now. Mary Ann, thank you for being here today. Brian Barth is our Deputy Executive Director, as well as Brandy Hendrickson. Thank you, Brandy, for being here today. We have a great team, not only at the senior leadership level in Austin, but we have a great team in every one of those 25 districts. And I can't thank the more than 13,000 employees of TxDOT for what you do. And I also want to thank Caitlin Dwyer. She's right there. She's my chief of staff, and thank you, Caitlin, for kind of helping me keep the trains running on time. So without any further ado, let's get going here, and I'm going to turn it back over to, because I want Charles to have the spotlight, because this is Charles's work, Charles's team, and Charles could not have done a better job for the people of the state of Texas. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Chairman Bug, for those thoughtful remarks and for your continued leadership. Now I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Texas Senator Jose Menendez. Senator Menendez has been an advocate for improving infrastructure and quality of life in our region. His commitment to public service and his support for transportation initiatives like the Loop 1604 North expansion have been pivotal in ensuring we meet the growing needs of our community. So please join me in welcoming Senator Jose Menendez.
Well, good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day we've been blessed with. Folks, you know, as I think and I hear these numbers that get told in the billions of dollars, the thing that I love about that is that each and every one of those dollars, you stack them all up, those are all taxpayer dollars. So when you celebrate projects like this, what I love about it is that these are the types of projects that impact every single taxpayer that comes through this region. Whether they live around the corner, where they work at Six Flags or in the Rim, everyone who comes, whether they live in San Antonio or they're coming through to visit, they're impacted by the quality of our infrastructure. And that's why the taxpayers voted for what they voted. Because if you think about it, think of the frustration that you have gone through on that day that you're trying to get your kid to their practice or their game and the traffic is backed up, or you need to get to an important meeting and the traffic's backed up. Every time that frustration, that impacts everybody. And Chairman Bug was just spot on saying that it doesn't happen without the leadership of the district engineers. And we've been blessed here in Barrett County to have wonderful district engineers over the years. And I see former district engineer in the audience, and I'm like thinking to myself, that leadership goes down throughout the organization to all the men and women who are out here in the audience. And I want to thank especially the folks in the yellow, the heroes in the hero program, because y'all are saving lives. And this is the best use of taxpayer dollars in a way that we can help everyone, regardless of their background, get to their job quicker and safer, get home quicker and safer, be with their family more than being stuck in traffic. And the other thing that it does, the less we have cars stuck in traffic, the less smog we've got in the air, the cleaner the air we have. And so it is a smart thing to do. One of the things I'm going to work with the Texas Department of Transportation over the next session, I have heard a lot of complaints over these shutdowns. I've gotten more information, more calls and emails over that than just about anything recently. So what I'd like to see us do is, in the future, as we build huge projects like this that may bring two major intersections of highways to a halt, we should study a way to do it in the fewest amount of hours that will disrupt business. Because it's not fair to those hardworking men and women who work in those restaurants and work in those areas that their income is disrupted significantly. So we're going to work on that, because the good work of TxDOT should never have a blemish on it, because y'all work way too hard. And so we're going to do a better job of figuring out how we can plan around these things so that every time we do one of these events, people can say, here we go again, we're making Texas even better. If you ever get a chance to drive out of state, you will definitely appreciate the quality of our highways. Just recently, I went through a couple of different states, and I was like, I can't wait to get back to Texas. So, a great day, a lot more work to do. This is one of those days that you just know that you're doing the right thing, but it wouldn't happen with all of y'all who wear the TxDOT badge. And so, thank you for y'all's hard work. There's a lot more to do, and give us feedback on how we can make things better, because Chairman Bug and I, we need to hear from y'all on how we can improve things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. So as we close today's ceremony, I'd like to thank our project partners, including Williams Brothers Construction and STV Consultants, as well as the TxDOT team led by Carlos Arcilla, our area engineer, and Danny Gallegos, assistant area engineer. You know, your hard work and dedication have been critical in bringing this project to life. So let's continue working together to tackle congestion and bring more mobility to the San Antonio region. So and now, the moment we've been waiting for, I'd like to invite our speakers to join me at the ribbon cutting here to my left for the official ribbon cutting ceremony, followed by the inaugural drive over the flyover ramp. Let's cut the ribbon and celebrate this exciting milestone. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. We're going to do 5 minutes of questions with the chairman, 5 minutes of questions with the district engineer. Please keep your questions for the chairman more high level about how we're tackling congestion. Any project questions specifically about the interchange, let's leave them for the district engineer, okay? Thank you.
Trying to decide how much longer I'm going to work. It's getting closer to 70 than I am 69. You got anything you want to do outside of work? Oh, I play a lot of music. It's just,
Okay. The chairman has 5 minutes. I'll start on this side and I'll go around, okay? Stephanie? Nothing? We'll do face at. Do you have a question for the chairman?
Talk to me about the benefit that this would have for the taxpayers. Like y'all said, y'all are the law administration.
We